In a matter of months, the Raiders went from playing in an armpit to the NFL's new lap of luxury. The Raiders' new home, dubbed Allegiant Stadium, occupies 62 acres in Paradise, Nevada. Cost $1.84 billion to build and can hold up to 72,000 fans. That is, whenever stadiums allow spectators in them, if ever again. Damn it, Marlins! It's an iffy proposition whether the Raiders will be playing any important games here, but there is one game of great importance that will be played at Allegiant. No, it's not the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl. I am referring to the Super Bowl, a game so big that most of America needs the following Monday off to recover. Right now, Las Vegas is not on the schedule to host any of the 4 upcoming Super Bowls. Los Angeles, Tampa, Glendale, and New Orleans, all cities that have hosted the big game multiple times. That's a big mistake because Las Vegas will come to own the Super Bowl. And in this video, we're going to find out why. My dudes, as the world is starting to open back up, you know what that means. Other things are gonna open up too. And studies show that a woman without a doubt prefers a man that takes care of his junk. That's where Manscaped comes in. With the Perfect Package 3.0, you get the utmost in male personal grooming. With the centerpiece being the Lawnmower 3.0 that features skin-safe technology, 90 minutes of battery life, and a super clutch LED light that goes with the other gear like Crop Preserver deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner. Add the Peak Hygiene subscription for replacement blades sent right to your door at the frequency you desire. So after this video, head on over to manscaped.com/5-points and get 20% off instantly at checkout. Act now on the perfect package and we'll throw in the Shed travel bag and a pair of boxers and free shipping. Hit that link below and open up a whole new world of personal grooming. Manscaped.com. Sin City is home to a metropolitan population of 2.2 million residents and hosts a total of 50 million tourists over the course of a year. No one knows how to throw a party quite like them, and there's no bigger party in sports than the Super Bowl. So let's start there with the obvious. Las Vegas boasts a Super Bowl hub greater than Bourbon Street and even the mighty strip clubs of Tampa. We're talking about the Strip. Not only does the Strip have the infrastructure to host Super Bowl weekend, it has the ability to keep everyone, including Eugene Robinson, entertained. The Strip encompasses a stretch of 4.2 miles, and lined along that all-American road are 32 cartoonishly luxurious hotels and 150,000 rooms for fans, media, and Marlins man's many escorts to kick back and go so hard that they barely wake up before the 3 p.m. local kickoff time. Vegas can certainly handle the typical Super Bowl weekend that involves a mix of NFL-sanctioned events like live recordings of ESPN and NFL Network programming, meet and greets, Radio Row, and fan giveaways, and then the non-football related tourism, the reason so many cities are clamoring to claw their way into the Super Bowl rotation. There's some debate as to whether cities actually make money from hosting the Super Bowl. Glendale lost $1 million when they hosted the 18-0 Pats, defeat at the hands of the Giants in 2008, and back in 2016, San Francisco was down $5 million by the time Von Miller was hoisting the Lombardi. Vegas may actually be able to turn the weekend into a profitable event because while Glendale and even San Fran had difficulty with the mass influx of football folks, Vegas has the infrastructure already in place. Essentially, it was a city designed for transients and people looking to blow way too much money in one weekend. I certainly have. Vegas doesn't have to do the prep work and spend the upfront dollars that those cities did. The investment has already been made. Vegas opened up its first casino hotel in 1959, and by the 60s, the gaming business was grown by piss bottling tycoons like Howard Hughes and turned into a massively profitable enterprise, all in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
And within full view of the sites where the United States first tested the atomic bomb in the 40s, even before they tested it on people. Too soon? Since then, Las Vegas has become one of the premier tourist destinations in America and certainly the party capital of the country. They get to stay that way because the hotels we mentioned earlier, all that within a stretch of 4 miles. The convenience of a condensed hub like the Strip is compounded by its proximity to the main event. Allegiant Stadium sits just 2.5 miles south of the Strip, or just a 6-minute Uber southbound on Dean Martin Drive. Compare that to when Super Bowl 50 was held in Santa Clara and the previous week's events were held in San Francisco, a full hour's drive from each other. And that road isn't even named after a famous alcoholic singer. If you know the media, they like to fire up Twitter and complain from time to time. There's nothing to complain about when you could either grab a cab or even walk from your hotel to the lead-up events and the game itself, unless you get detoured at a massage parlor or you're on Twitter. That brings us to another of Las Vegas' selling points for hosting the Super Bowl, the stadium itself. The appropriately black and white spit-shine beacon of the future houses 72,000 at capacity, boasts retractable side windows, a transparent roof, and an 85-foot torch dedicated to the honor of the late Al Davis. Sadly, there has not yet been a P.F. Chang's constructed within the stadium to honor the living Mark Davis, or a barbershop. Most notably, Allegiant Stadium has the infrastructure to accommodate celebrities, media, and NFL executives. The Neo-Football Cathedral contains a massive 127 suites, plus 8,000 club seats. Enough for Mark Wahlberg and all of his brothers that will inevitably leave during halftime of the next Patriots Super Bowl. He had a good reason though. More than anything, the extravagance of the stadium matches the city and elevates the spectacle of America's greatest sporting event. The name Las Vegas evokes an image of over-the-top celebration, rampant consumerism, and the grandiosity that perhaps only New Orleans can match out of all the other Super Bowl venues. But there's one other word particularly unique to Vegas that the city evokes. No, I'm not talking about chlamydia. Last year, the American Gaming Association estimated that a grand total of $6.8 billion were bet as the Chiefs bested the 49ers in Super Bowl 54. That was a game that took place in Miami, Florida, where sports betting is not currently legal. It is kinda legal, however, in 18 other states. That, of course, includes Nevada, which legalized casino gambling back in 1931 and permitted sports gambling 18 years later in 1949. When the Supreme Court lifted the federal ban on sports betting in 2018, 17 other states followed Nevada, but the big game has not yet taken place in a state with legalized sports betting. As of now, the 4 states ahead of Nevada that will host the Super Bowl, California, Florida, Arizona, and Louisiana, have not legalized it either. But of course, even if they did lift their state ban on sports betting, there would be no matching the experience provided by Las Vegas, the casino capital of the world. Currently, Vegas is home to 54 different sports books. Not just an app on your phone, but physical brick and mortar sports books to walk into, break off 10 grand and say, I'm putting this all on the Browns to beat the Lions and cover the spread on the world's dumbest future bet possible. All of this gives Vegas an even better chance to recoup the money they spent to put on the Super Bowl, perhaps a few times over. Even if Glendale put a sports book in every one of their retirement homes, they wouldn't be able to match the sheer revenue of Las Vegas's casinos. We know the United States as a nation is cool with sports betting and weed, and the state of Nevada sure as hell is, but what about the Shield? Surely there's some kind of conflict for the National Football League that would prevent them from hosting their biggest game of the year in casino country, right? That might have been the case back when Packers great Paul Hornung was suspended for gambling, but the NFL is now softening its lean against placing some action on their product. ESPN and Sports Business Daily both reported back in February that the NFL would allow sports teams to sell sponsorships with sportsbook operators, which the Denver Broncos were the first to do, and allow teams to create their own betting lounges. You still can't have a betting window inside the stadium itself, but that's where the proximity to the greatest casinos in the world starts to factor in for Las Vegas. All of this points to a bigger change. The NFL has already begun to warm up to the idea of a betting culture around their sport. Back in 2019, the league began distributing official data to sports books. Plus, a few months ago, the league put out the call for a vice president of sports betting, again pointing to their embracing it rather than condemning it and pretending like it isn't a major reason for the league's popularity. What better way to signal a full 180 onto the side of sports betting than to conclude the season in Las Vegas? It'll likely end up being such a profitable endeavor for the NFL that Vegas will join the regular rotation. And why not? To recap, Vegas has the shiny new stadium to host the game and suites for all the NFL bourgeois. The stadium is just a 6-minute drive from the entertainment capital of the world, the Las Vegas Strip, and the Strip can facilitate the in-person betting of the biggest game in American sports history. There's no other city that can pull that off. Who is going to own the Super Bowl? Bet on Las Vegas. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.